Let's do this. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're here with another video to grace you guys with. That is a very lame intro. But, anyways, clear my throat. The much anticipated Chad Muska S reissue is finally here. Got it this morning. Went to go eat first, but I'm not going to wait any longer to open these up because I've been waiting forever. Get my trusty little prison knife here. But I only got one pair of these in today. I ordered 3 total. One of the black and red because black's not my favorite color. But I got 2 of the gray ones because I want to kind of wear one, possibly skate it. But I also want to keep one of them dead stock in box. You guys already know. God damn, this is $8. There we go. Alright. It's like nerve-wracking opening these up. First, let me grab my actual original Muskas. That way we can do like a good comparison. Oh man. I don't have the original box, and I probably wouldn't store them in the original box just because if you collect old OG skate shoes, the foam midsole will crumble when it's like sitting on that box, and then it'll just completely deteriorate. So I have them sitting straight up in this box to kind of hopefully preserve them, but I haven't opened this box in a long time, so I don't know. A little dividing paper. Gently grab these relics. Still no cracking. Oh, I got a crack right here. They have not reissued this colorway yet. My concept was to have this shoe, the original one, and the navy reissue that they do, which I'm sure they eventually will. But like, you know, have a good little comparison video. But I'm not gonna wait that long because there's no telling when they'll actually do that. So set these off to the side. Look right there. Speaking of crumbling soles, that's part of my Howard 1. Fuck, that sucks. So, let's get into this. It's been teased already, but it's fucking sick that they have the original box redone as well. Not a lot of people do that at all. It's fucking dope. It's a very simple box, but it's awesome. The main thing that's great is just knowing that this is what the original box was and you have it again. So like, this is so far as close to a full like reissue that you can get. But let me put this on the ground. Does it look good?
Dude, it looks great.
Are they still wrapped up? You can't see them at all?
Yeah, you can't see shit.
Fuck. Alright. More details. See that right there?
Yeah. That's
so sick. Like, this is like, I want to just frame that on the wall. Oh, man. Oh. I still like, these are brand new, but I still like, I'm scared to touch the midsole just because like I've handled these ones so much before that like instinctively I don't want to like grab that. Like just being able to do this is crazy. My finger would go right through that entire fucking shoe if I tried on those. This is tight. This is something new they did. Muska's been big on like little things like this. I don't know what it's called. It's tight. And it's something that is cool that they change on a shoe. So you know, like a lot of times when they do reissues, a lot of the pro skaters want to change a few little things and make it like something new and stand out and be different. This is a nice thing for them to change because you can literally just take this thing right off if you don't like it, and then you have the original shoe and you can put it on the wall next to your OG and be happy. But they're like, God, this is great. I'm gonna pull this off just so I can like loosen it up some. Put that on the side. And they want the extra step. Got it. Little S logo there, and it's actually, yeah, it's like embossed. Is that the correct term? Whenever it's like inset. What's the one when it's protruding out? I gotta learn this shit. One of these days I'm gonna learn all the terms for shoes and shit. Dude, this is crazy. Let me just start by looking at the outside of this shoe. This shoe feels great. The sole feels pretty sticky. Like, I feel like this would be a great sole for skating. It's got grip. The only thing that concerns me is like, you know, this S grip right here. It might not, yeah, it doesn't flex very well. It's not a very flexible sole. This is me putting a good bit of strength into it. I know I'm pretty fucking jacked and I should be able to fold this shoe in half, but you know, this is a stiff little boot. But the originals were the same way. I think I never skated them, but I imagine.
See how stiff that one is.
No, I'm good. That one will probably fold like 6 times around, no problem. But dude, like, oh fuck, it feels so good holding this. Like I said, I'm so used to holding this old beat up shoe, which to be fair, that's probably the best condition original Muskas I've ever seen. Not saying it because it's my pair, I got the best in the world, but like those are in phenomenal shape, and it's still, you can tell holding it that is a very old shoe. And just holding this, you don't have to worry about anything. That's nice to me. But check this out. It's got the S lace loops, rubber, this little rubber ollie protector, which everybody, you know, skates different, but for me, my ollie spot is not here. It's more like right here, right where the stitching is, which is not good for me. There's a rubber toe cap underneath it, so it doesn't really matter. But that is, I was trying to think about where my heel flip spot is. My heel flip spot's all the way up here though. I think that's where I make the most contact with when I heel flip, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute since I like done a heel flip. They used to be my favorite trick, and then it's one of those things that like, one day I went outside and didn't do a heel flip, and then I never did a heel flip again. Like, you know, it's like I was out doing them every fucking day, and then I just didn't one day, and then I never did again. And now it feels very fucking awkward when I try to heel flip. But enough of that. You're not here to talk about my heel flips. Dude, this is nice. Being able to touch this, right. Like, it's trippy. It's trippy. If you don't own an OG shoe with foam midsole, you won't really get it, but all the collectors out there will know. You feel wrong for touching this. Like, I feel like I'm breaking the fucking law right now. Like, it's weird. And I'm forcing myself to grab it and get comfortable. And I hope that I don't accidentally grab those one day and be like, oh, let me press it. Because, yeah.
You're going to fuck up.
I did that with a pair of DC Essence. I had those brand new in box, and I picked them up one day. And I was like, I wonder if this foam midsole's still good. And I pressed it on my thumb. My thumb went like right fucking through it. Yeah, dumb. So I never did that again. One thing though, I want to point out that I think has changed. I mean, this shoe's got different material, but this rubber mesh here, might be hard for you to capture, but it like points out. It's pointy. I don't think the originals were like that. I think it was like a flat mesh. So I think that is a change. I could be wrong. That's the only original pair of Muskas I've ever had, and the material on that is like a soft fabric mesh, not a rubber mesh. So I don't know for sure, but I think that is a little different. But that is probably the only difference. It's nice actually having a pull tab on the heel that actually sticks out. Like DC with their reissues, on the pull tabs on the heels, they're usually like flat. Like, I don't like that. There's no point. You can't pull on it. Reflective. I think that's reflective right there. This is nice. Let me open it up, see what this puppy looks like on the inside. So one of the biggest features for a skate shoe, for this skate shoe in particular, was the fact that he introduced a stash pocket in the tongue. They actually did bring that back, of course. It was a fucking sick must. Yeah. Which, the concept of it is so you can't get, you know, cops fucking search you for weed or something. They won't find it because it'll be in your tongue. But, like, I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever been searched, you pull off your shoes. And, like, they're, of course, going to look in your fucking shoes. So they're going to see, like, a pocket sitting there. It works. You can still store it in there, and you're just going to have, like, you know, weed that is sweaty and smells like feet. But it's cool. I love it. I used to put my house key in there. Not in this pair, but, like, I had a pair of skate shoes. I forget which ones it was. They had a little stash pocket. And I always carried just a house key because I didn't have a car at the time. And so I would just stick that in there because I knew it wouldn't go anywhere. Because shit always fell out of my pockets. But let me check the insole. The insole, from what I've seen online, is really nice, but I've never seen the bottom of it, so I'm kind of curious. Doesn't feel like they did anything. No. Oh, yeah, they did. The Muska silhouette, I think that's what it's called, graphic, which is a nice little touch. This was not on the original one, so, you know, obviously differentiates it a little bit. But I noticed these little dimples from all the photos I saw, and that is full holes through it, which are good for a little bit of extra breathability. But at the same time, it's holes through this insole that are inside a shoe. So like, it's just basically filtering out hot air. You're not getting any colder air or anything. It's not really going to serve a purpose per se.
Right.
It's like for breathability, but like that's like taking a fan, putting a fan in a hot room. You're just blowing hot air around. It's a fan, but it's not cooling you down. But they did add this little arch support piece right here, which is something that's been lost on insoles for a while now. I'm actually surprised to see S go through and do a good insole in a shoe, because here lately it's kind of seemed like their thing was to put the absolute shittiest insole in a shoe and then allow you to purchase a good insole. So obviously you're going to hate the insoles that come in the shoes, and then you're going to go and you're going to purchase like a, I don't know how much they are, I'll say $15 insole to go into an already $85 shoe. Now you have a $100 shoe, which, you know, fuck it, that's their thing, but shit like this used to come standard, and so it's nice seeing it come back around. And I like that. Little details. You know, eventually they're gonna end up making shoes so good that collectors and myself are just not gonna have shit to bitch about. Because it's like, you know, we get the OG shoe and we're like, or actually, we don't have any OG shoes. First thing we do is we're like, oh, we want OG shoes, reissue them. They reissue them. They're not true to the OG, so then we're like, oh, you know, it's great, but make it more true. Then they make it more true. Then we're like, but the mesh is pointy, you know. Then they make the mesh right. It's gonna trickle down. We're always looking for something to kind of bitch about. It's like in our nature, I guess. I'm speaking for everybody, like everybody bitches, but you know, I do. But for me, kind of in my nature to be like, all right, you know, we've got all these things, but we're missing this little thing. Eventually, it kind of seems like they're gonna get away from that, because they're nailing everything. We got the original box. We got the original shoes. We got a nice, like, original style insole. Granted, you know, we could have did the original print on it. But, you know what I'm saying? Jesus. Like, I just want to take a step back and appreciate that S actually fully did this shoe, like, pretty fucking much correct. I mean, like, S is notorious for just fucking up reissues. Fucking them up. I mean, I get it. I get their concept. You know, you don't want to bring back a full OG. You want to kind of, like, make it a little more modern, which is cool. But, like, a lot of the times, they're cheaper filling. They're not the same. The thing about reissuing a shoe is to actually have that original one, and they're finally getting around to it. This isn't the first one that they've fully done. I think the Tribos were pretty spot on, if I remember correctly. Those are great. But then we have the Kragers in this box here that we will do another video on after this one, because I've been waiting on both these shoes to come in. The Kragers look pretty spot on, but we'll see that in the next video. But this shoe, I mean, there's not really anything else they could have done. Honestly, I mean, like I said, it's all pretty much the fucking same. There's little, the mesh and the insole graphic.
Just sitting here looking back and forth, I'm like, they're pretty fucking identical.
And that's the thing. Like, I want to, you know, we'll do a comparison or whatever in a second, but I just wanted to like pull it all apart and see. It's just crazy, dude. This is trippy. It does have tongue centering straps, which is another big thing. A lot of times, like, there's little things like that they'll just skip because it saves the company a few dollars. I think it's like a $5 price difference with or without the little tongue centering straps. Basing off of the Kalis lights. Kalis lights didn't have it. I asked DC a million times to put them in there because I loved skating the Kalis lights when they first came out. But the problem I had was that tongue always kicking all the way to the side, like these are doing. You know, like, I hate that. That fucking bugs me. I spend all day after every trick going, like, because it's aesthetics mainly, but it feels a little weird too. But it's nice. They did all that. Everything's here. This is tight. I feel like even after this video, I'm probably gonna hold this shoe and stare at it for fucking hours. But let me see. Let me try it on. The biggest question that I see on any new shoe is how it fits, which is obviously a huge deal with S, because apparently with the Kragers, they're way small. Normally with S, their shoes are all bigger. I always go half down in S. I wear 9.5 in most S. I wear a 10 in most DCs. I wear a 10 in most shoes in general, but I've been kind of going back to 9.5 in a lot of my DCs. Why am I sliding around like it's a shitty old shoebox? I got 9.5 in these. I'll slide these puppies off. Moment of truth. Yeah, that's good. Like, this feels like size 10 Lynx. Let me step in it and jump before I actually say how it feels. One thing I never really liked is how, like, short this tongue is. You see that? Don't, like, stick out. I don't know why. I've always been a sucker for tongues to stick out. Hold up, hold up. Let me get this proper. Yeah, these are definitely true to size. Like I said, I'll order 9.5 in most S, and this is a 9.5. So I would definitely do a 9.5 if that's your normal size, or I'll just stick to your normal S size. I wouldn't go half up in these because these fit like great, very slight bit of room. Because like a 9.5 Lynx is already snug, like right out the box. When I wear those, I get 9.5 because the more I wear it or skate it, padding wears out and then it kind of fits better. This is like the perfect fit already, so I would not really recommend going half down. I mean, going half up. Would not recommend going half up because if you do that, it's just going to give you even more space eventually in time. If anything, if they don't have your size anywhere, which there's still Muskas floating around, you can still get these from a lot of skate shops, and the S website's going to have them out soon too. But if you find yourself in a pickle later on, hadn't bought a pair yet because you didn't have the money at the time, whatever it be, if you have to get a pair that's not in your size, I would go half down. I wouldn't go half up unless if your sole purpose is to get it and put it on a wall and get whatever size you want. I'd recommend true to size if you can, half down if you're fucked on your size. I wouldn't go half up. This puppy's gonna be flopping around on your foot. This is gonna be fun trying to juggle this around. The weight difference. These original ones are a little bit heavier, but they are a full size bigger than this. This is 9.5, 10.5. Let's see. Get some comparison views. Let you guys sit there and marinate on that for a second. It's like Indiana Jones, bro. I'm like trying to move this shoe around just perfectly and not fuck up. Oh, fuck. Can't really bring that down low. One thing I do notice, like, I don't know. It feels like this is in more on the OG. Like how these are, but it might just be because this is old soft now and this material being new and still a little bit stiff, because like when I press on that down it looks more like it. This is different. Like that's one little panel and this has got double stitching right down it for some weird reason. I decided to make an extra one.
This one has like stitching that goes all the way up here.
Yeah.
It cuts off right there.
Oh yeah, they go to double stitch there. Also, they double stitch all the way across to here, which leads me to believe that the rubber does go fully through, versus double stitching down right here. So like I think the rubber on this one like ended right there, rounded off.
Right.
So like this part might be the same piece that this is, and it's all intertwined, maybe. But so there is some little differences. This part is different. The stitching gap versus right there. Nothing really different. Aside from that triple stitching going all the way up again. That is kind of weird. The way they switched that stitching on there. I mean, there's got to be some sort of reason why they did it. I would have never noticed that probably. Like, even quick glance at this, and then going back and looking at these, I'd have been like, damn, spot on, you know? Like,
yeah.
Once you pointed out that triple stitching difference, that's when I like started looking. I was like, wait a second.
It's like this is like more narrow than this.
That could be though, because this being old and it's settled in some.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because like a lot of times when shoes get older, like how fucking people are, they shrink down some because the material settles in more.
Okay.
Puffiness of it is pretty fucking spot on too. The tongue on the new one looks a little thicker by a little bit, but again, this shoe is an old shoe.
Yeah.
So, makes sense. Let me see if I can pull the insole out of this old one without making this whole shoe fall apart. I don't want to. I guess I can. Fuck. This bitch has moved locations. Probably not very comfortable anymore. But it has the gel pad, but that stayed in there. That's the reason I kind of like stopped pulling it out. Because I didn't want to like ruin it, but that gel pad's stuck on the inside there, so it's not going anywhere. So I'll put this back in, it'll be fine. This insole has little holes in it too, right there in the 4 feet. But I mean, essentially the same shit. The only thing is these don't have that little gel pad for the impact resistant shit. Nice little touch, because if you've ever skated, for me usually if I bail on some shit, I go fucking heel first into the ground, seems like sometimes, and then it's like fucking, you get a shock wave up your whole fucking body. But that little pad probably isn't going to change anything. Oh, fuck, I touched it. You can tell immediately. Damn. I should have sold these, like, before the reissues happened. So I could have got, like, fucking $7 billion.
That's it?
Easily.
Nah, I'd keep them for that price.
Yeah. I don't want to sell those, though. For 2 reasons. One, I wanted that shoe, and I finally got it. And finding an original Muska is damn near impossible. And for 2, video purposes.
Yeah.
I wanted to have the originals to compare to the new ones. But yeah, those aren't going anywhere. I bought those off of a guy who's helped me out with like a lot of projects on Instagram and junk. His name on Instagram is The Art of Drop. I think it's Thomas something. I'm not even trying to pronounce his last name. I think it starts with like an S and a Z, which the first 2 letters already fucked me up. Yeah, he posted those on Instagram years back, probably like 5 years ago, for $100 shipped. Like, fucking absolute no-brainer. But the one thing that's weird about them is it's a mismatched pair. They're the exact same shoe, same colorway and everything, but one's a 10.5, one's a 9.5. So, like, I don't know what the story is behind that, how the fuck that happened, but...
That is interesting.
Yeah. The only thing I thought about this before, the only reason I can think of is maybe, like, he found them at a, like a swap shop type thing. The only thing I can think of is maybe somebody convinced a skate shop, back when those were new, that had fucked up feet, to allow them to swap the sizes and be like, because if you have fucked up feet, one foot either stops growing or the other one keeps growing more than the other one does, whatever, you can't just buy a fucking size 12 and be like, oh, this works, you know what I mean? So maybe they convinced them, like, hey, they might have paid double, whatever the fuck they had to do, got it, and then the shop just obviously is not going to fucking sell a 9.5 and a 10.5 ever again. And so they ended up there. Maybe. That's all I can think of.
Maybe the other pair are out there somewhere.
Possibly.
Long lost brothers.
Yeah. Possibly. But whatever the case be, I'm just glad I got them. And I got them for a dumb cheap price.
Yeah.
People were pissed. I remember like a lot of collectors were like I get it, but a lot of people like kind of seem like I wasn't worthy to own these. Because like I guess because I already have a lot of shit, whatever be the case. But a lot of people wanted them, and then of course at that price. But those shoes are worth a lot more than $100. Like usually when I see those go up for sale, it's well into the couple hundreds, like high hundreds, close to 1,000, and they're usually falling apart. And those are like very good. So I'm grateful. Thank you, Thomas, whatever your last name is. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that.
Find my lighter and come back in here.
Yeah, fucking dick. Alright, but let's wrap this up. There's only so much I can do on this shoe. I feel like I've gone over everything, but if I miss anything, let us know. I am getting back to the comments. I promise. I say this every video and I don't go look. I don't know. I have like a weird phobia. But yeah, dude, this is great. It's crazy holding this. There's more colorways coming. Black and red. This gray and blue, the first two to drop. There is a white with, I think, like the same blue, if I remember correct. Maybe a little different. That's coming out. I've put that on my Instagram. If you go look on there, you'll see it. But then also, I think that one should be around the end of the year. But then next year for spring, they have the colorway that's like intrigues me. It's very good. It's a very odd colorway for a shoe, but it's a very good colorway for a shoe. But it's like tan and green. Or like a greenish tan. It's like it's hard to explain the color, but that's also on my Instagram somewhere. I posted it kind of recently. You scroll down, you'll see it. That's the spring 2024 colorway. It's weird. Like I said, like it's odd, and it like intrigues me. It makes me want to get it like really bad because it's something you never see. But yeah, it looks good. It looks weird. It looks good.
Now, are they gonna do this colorway or no?
Eventually, I'm pretty sure. I don't know the ins and outs of S. I know a lot of people see like my collection, my page, whatever, and think that like I'm just automatically affiliated with every company, but I'm not. I feel that they will do every colorway because obviously these are going to sell well, and they're 150, and they're selling.
Damn.
Yeah, 150. It's a hard pill to swallow, but then at the same time, you know, as people have said, inflation. Realistically, these were like $90 at best, pretty much back in the day. I think it was like $89 brand new. But shops would tax more. Like shops would charge more for the shoe, and people would pay it. Like I remember some people saying that their shops would have these for like over $100 in there, which is crazy. So inflation's like up 100% from the 90s.
I think what like gets me with the price now, like 150 is like. Just where we live, there's not a lot of places just to make money like that.
Yeah.
To where like $90, alright, cool. It's expensive. We'll make it work, but then it's like 150.
I feel
everybody else is moving up, but like around here is
what I've noticed with me in like my field. I work at a casino right down the street. I do bell services, nothing fancy. I work off of tips, and I feel like tips have gotten great. They've been better than they've ever been. But then that's the thing. So, like, I feel like I'm making a little bit more money, but then everything else is going up a little bit in price. And it's just the way the world works. The inflation, like, I'm not, like, a logistics guy, so I'm not going to use the correct terminology and shit. But it's all balancing out. You know, like, for a while, there was a window where I was making great money, and things were still cheap, and I was, like, buying. And I was, like, it felt nuts. I was like, bro, I feel like I'm a millionaire, you know what I mean? Like, I'm throwing away money like left and right, and I'm still putting money in the savings account, this and that, whatever. But that's a very small bubble where I started making more money, but then companies started realizing like people were making a little more money, so then they start bumping up prices and things, and then now we're kind of, 150 for a shoe, like you were saying. If this shoe was $100 back in the day, you would have been like, $100 for a shoe is pretty steep, but if it was like 75, like I'd be able to, and that's the thing. Like now we're at that point where like 150 honestly is not a crazy amount for a shoe anymore. In '98, if they charged 150 for this, people would have been fucking pissed. Like everybody would have been blowing their lids. People are pissed now that these are 150, even with today's like, whatever.
$150 is still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money. Yeah, regardless.
Especially for the ones that want to.
If you're working a $10 an hour job, that's like 77 hours you gotta work. Let me calculate that on here real quick. Yeah, that's 1,000 hours. But yeah, no, seriously though. I mean, $150 is a whole day's work for most people to be able to get a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
But to me, when it's this shoe, 100% worth it. I mean, this is a lot of shit. This isn't a Volk shoe for $150.
Right.
This isn't like
there's a lot of.
This isn't a cheap, shitty version of a REISSUE for $150.
Yeah.
This is the original Chad Muska S shoe that a lot of people have been waiting on forever. Not even just for the REISSUE, just for the chance to be able to own a pair of them.
Right.
People have been waiting forever to be able to find the OGs pop up on eBay that would gladly spend $300, $400, $500. So like, when you see this and you're like, okay, $150. Even me, like I've been slowing down on buying shoes and shit because like I kind of realize it's a bit ridiculous to have like this much shit. Like, where would it stop? If I didn't slow down, like I would just be constantly buying shoes for no fucking reason because like I would just be putting them in here and then like
you're at the top of the vault, man.
I'm getting there, yeah. This is gonna fall over one day. But when I saw these, and I didn't bat an eye at all. Like when I saw 150, like I wasn't even like phased. I was like, gotta have them. Doesn't matter. Now, what was it? The Muska Supras that they did that were like the fat, chunky sole.
Yeah.
Bat an eye on that one. That one kind of stung because those were like $220, I think, $225 if I remember correct. Something crazy.
Yeah,
and
they were cool, but
yeah, like
not for that much.
I would never wear them. For me, aesthetically wise, it looks kind of ridiculous. But I wanted them because A, for a video, but B, because it was closest to the Circa 901 that I could get at the time. I didn't have this shoe yet. Selling the Wind on Instagram blessed me with the opportunity to buy that shoe for also, I think, $150. Yeah, which is dumb cheap. Granted, I can't. That's the same as these. Like you pretty much just gotta maneuver around the shoe if you ever want to look at it in order to not make it fall apart. But yeah, so that's another shoe. If Circa came back and if they made a 901 and they put it at $200, I'd buy multiple pairs. Just without batting an eye. There's a few shoes that everybody has their shoe models that they would not even care about the price on, and some people it's the Howard ones, it's Syntax, whatever it may be. This shoe though is one of those shoes for a lot of people. 150 seems crazy, but it also seems very fucking cheap for what you're gonna get. I mean, like I said, you're getting the OG box, you're getting printed paper with the Muska all over it.
Ooh, so
You're getting
different
everything.
colorways. You think the box are going to be different colorways too?
Yeah, the boxes match.
That's how they work?
The boxes match the colorways. So the black and red one will have black and red, blah blah. The insole I think is the same on all the colorways.
Right.
I thought at first that it was only on the black and red that they had this insole on, because on the gray ones the only shot I saw was like where you could barely see the S at the bottom, and I couldn't see like Muska in there. But this confirms that it is on every single one of them. So yeah. But I will say, after holding this shoe and trying to flex it, like I really don't know if I want to try to skate this, because there's a point. I'm okay spending $150 on a shoe that I love, but to go and potentially destroy a shoe that costs $150 I feel like this wouldn't be great to skate in. Just me personally. For me, zero flex in this shoe. Like, I'm not one to be like, oh, board fill this, board fill that, but like, bro, come on.
Not budging at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to like. It's still gonna be in the back of me. Like, I'm still gonna want to go outside. I'm pretty sure I probably want to go try something in it, because the kid in me, when I got new shoes or new anything, I would not wait for shit. If it was storming outside, it wouldn't matter. If I got these back in 1998, tore them out of the box, put them on, and went right outside of my board. I'd have been like, I gotta see how these perform. Like I gotta do it. And so that's always still in the back of my mind. Like, I'm always like, what is it like though? You know, like there's shoes that I don't want to skate and junk, but I still am like, what? What is it like though? So it might be the same for this eventually. Because like I said, I got 2 of these. I plan to just have one to wear around, just because like it's one thing owning the shoe and looking at it on the wall, feeling it, whatever. It's another thing to kind of like be out in the fucking world in it. It's like it's a surreal feeling for a lot of collectors, but for myself mainly. Walking around, looking down, seeing this on my foot, like while I'm at Walmart, it's like next level nostalgia feeling. Like it takes it up a notch. But that's it for this video though. DS Muska reissue, long awaited for most people, not all people. Some people hate this shoe. Very weird though. But yeah, this shoe is true to size. If you didn't happen to see that part of the video, and somehow you made it all the way to the end, it blew my mind. But it is true to size. They are still available. A lot of skate shops have these still. Again, it's $150. They're not, I don't think they're going to fly off the shelves, but they're all going to sell. People want these, no matter what.
Yeah, I could see that.
If they, you know, people that are like, oh, $150 is a lot. When paycheck hits on Friday, now it doesn't look like so bad, you know. Then they're like, second thought, fuck it, I'll get a pair. So these will sell.
That minimum on the payment on the credit card is only $40.
What is the Affirm?
Oh yeah, Affirm. Yeah.
That's like hook, line, and sinker for people that like don't have the cash. They're like, it's great for companies. It's bad for fucking purchasers.
I met some people that got in there deep.
Yeah, Tabby's sister. But yeah, like it can be scary. Little bit of small financial advice. Do not throw yourself into a lot of debt. And once you get past a certain point, you feel buried and like you feel fucked. And then it's like, not only are you in debt, you feel like utter shit because you're like, fuck, how did I get here? Like,
yeah,
that's shit. I use PayPal credit for a lot of my shit. These went on PayPal credit. I do that just because if I have the cash at the time, sit in my checking account, I can afford to pay for these straight cash. I'll do PayPal credit just because I'm like, well, I don't feel like buying those shoes today, but I'm like, I'll put on PayPal credit. I'll pay them off at the end of the week.
Yeah.
You know, like that's fine. If you see Affirm, you want to do Affirm, try it. I've never used it, but it's 4 payments from what I believe. But you can do that, but just make sure, don't bury yourself in debt, bro. Like just purchase what you know you can pay off. That's the main thing. I remember my first thing was Pacific Sunwear credit card, PacSun. I was like, I went to go check out for like 4 pairs of jeans. And the dude was like, hey, you want to sign up for a Pacific Sun credit card? And I was like, nah, I don't want to get, buried in debt. I was always afraid of that. And this video isn't going forever. And but he was like, oh, no interest for blah, 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 fucking. Eventually I said, fuck it, sure, let's do it, whatever. It was like $120 worth of pants. I was like, the fuck, I'll just, I could pay for them now, but I was like, I'll do that and I'll just pay them off later. Well, like, I fucked up because at the time, it was like, oh, minimum payment's only $20. So I was like, oh, well, fuck, let's just do that. And then the cash I have now, I can buy other shit with.
Yeah.
And then I end up getting a call one day when I was like $800 and something in on that credit card.
Oh my
Which is insane at the time because I was young,
Yeah.
And and they were like, look, you're making minimum payments. If you continue to do this $800 is going to turn into it was like a couple grand. Like it was way up there. They were like, you're going to pay $20 towards this bill, but only $2 is going to go towards the amount you owe.
Yeah.
Like the rest going towards interest. And I was like, holy fuck. And then that's when I had a snapping point. And I was like, I went to my bank. So I had that and I had another credit card somewhere else. I went to my bank, pulled out a personal loan, paid off all the credit cards that I had owed debt on. And then I only owed on that loan from my bank, which was like a small interest rate.
A lower interest rate.
So I paid all that off, and I never did any other credit cards except for PayPal credit, which, like I said, it's great to have, but just don't bury yourself for no reason. Like that's the thing.
Especially not over fucking shoes.
Yeah. That's enough financial advice, man. I don't want to get too deep into that shit. But yeah, just don't bury yourself, guys. I mean, these are worth it though. Bury yourself a little bit. I'm just kidding. Don't do it. If you're hurting, don't fucking waste your money on it. They'll pop up again later on in life when you have more money. I mean, look at me now. I didn't have money for none of this shit when I was a kid. And now here I am, I got it all. Way more than I fucking need. Yep. That's crazy. Alright, we out. Later guys, peace out.